Hello, researchers. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good lunch, good recess. So this is what I would like you to do to start off for today. I want you to open up your reading notebook and right now write down some of the ideas that you are starting to think and have about the natural disaster or weather event that you and your team is researching. So, Vicente, go ahead and pause, maybe for like a minute. Okay, how'd that go for you? Was it easy? Was it hard? What did you think about your ideas? Go ahead and turn and talk with your team for about another minute. So go ahead and pause this, Vicente. I don't know which side you're going to be on. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is this. It's not easy generating ideas. Okay, it's something you can do with practice, but it's not an easy thing. But one of the things that we can do as researchers is as we're reading, we have to write. We have to write to develop our ideas. It's not just enough to talk about it because we need to write first and then have conversations. So this is what we do. This is what researchers do. Researchers ask themselves, what seems important about this and how does this connect to what I know? And then write, okay? So you kind of ask yourself these two questions and then write to explain it to yourself and to other people. All right, so let's take a look at some of my notes and make a list of do's and don'ts when writing your ideas down. And at the end of the mini lesson, you will have time to copy down the do's and the don'ts. So that would be an expectation, is that I see the do's and don'ts written down in your writing notebook. All right, without further ado, let's look at some examples. Okay, so here's my first entry right here. It says, drought is a problem, and we have to change our ways and be good to the earth. Humans will have to take better care of our planet. If we live in a drought area, we probably have ourselves to blame. Not very good. I can do better than that. That didn't have any facts in it. It didn't have anything kind of accessible. It just kind of had some like blown in the wind ideas. So let's not leave behind facts and write blowing in the wind ideas. All right, let's see what else we could do. Let's see a better one. Natalie Wolchover says population booms can trigger droughts almost by themselves. I think the important part about this is he thinks people can prevent droughts, or she, good Lord, I made some mistakes here. She thinks people can prevent droughts from happening. I don't know if I agree. I mean, is it okay for governments to control the population to prevent drought? Imagine if someone told you how many children you could have. So what did I do there? I had a quote from an expert, and then I talked, and then I talked about things. I put some ideas down. I don't know the answer to them. What's in my head? What am I thinking? So what did I do? I cited the text or specific info. And I also wrote my ideas about facts and specifics. Okay, let's look at a couple other things to get some more ideas about what we shouldn't do and what we should do. Some do's and some don'ts. All right, the next one. People need water. We are made of 55% of water, but we don't have enough water. 40% of the world doesn't have good access to water. A typical person needs 3 liters of drinking water a day. 5,000 kids a day die from lack of water. Now that's fact overload. Okay, we don't want to do that. Don't write just tons of facts down. That would be a no-no. Don't write only a list of facts. What could we do instead? Well, let's take a look. In The Big Thirst by Charles Fishman, readers learn that 40% of the world doesn't have good access to water. 40% is big, almost half the world's population. If we thought about that in terms of our classroom, that would be scary. It would mean that almost half the kids in the class wouldn't have access to water every day. How would we survive? Why aren't we talking about solutions to this horrible problem? Could it be that we just aren't aware of it because it's not happening to people we know? It's not happening to us? Maybe it's hard to understand because it's happening more in faraway countries or faraway places or within our country, but people we don't know. Who knows? All right, so what did I do there? I took the information, okay, I cited again, so that was good. And then I also ranked, compared, categorized, questioned, and connected. Okay, so I did all of that stuff within there. So what was that list again? We want to try and rank. So what is the most important, least important? We want to try and compare our ideas or compare our facts, compare our information. Categorize. So what does the information mean? What are the different categories or subcategories that I could put it together? I want to question. So what are my questions? What do I have? What am I wondering about? I got to be wondering about something. Or I want to try to connect, do some connecting. And all of that in the hopes to grow ideas. So those are your do's and your don'ts. Sorry, I had to sneeze, so I stopped it. So these are your do's and your don'ts. How about this? Let's do this. Pause for maybe a minute. Make sure everyone has this written down. Okay, we're back. At this point, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look, okay, at what you wrote at the beginning of the mini lesson. Now again, it's easy to list these do's and these don'ts. I'm not saying this is something that you're just going to go voila and do. You have to work on it. You got to try it. And when you try things and work at things, and then I can look at it and give you some feedback, this is how we grow as thinkers, as readers, as researchers. So again, you can do this. This is something you can do. But don't think it's going to be just like, piece of cake. So try it. So go back to what you wrote today at the beginning. What do you think? How does it match up? How would you revise it? So what I want you to do now, Vicente, is when I say donkey shorts, I want you to pause this again and give the kids about 2 minutes to revise your notes. Okay, revise your notes and kind of have a discussion with your team about your notes and about your thinking, okay? Maybe 3 minutes. Let's do that in 3 minutes. So pause for 3 minutes and then we'll be back. Okay, so hopefully you had a very nice discussion about what you're going to be, how you can create your thoughts, and how that went for you today. At the end of today, so during the share time, so I don't know what time it is now. I don't know how efficient you've been with your time. Who knows? Hopefully very efficient because you know how important this stuff is. But at the end today, what I want you to do is you're going to have a conversation with your team, okay? So one person will start first and start maybe talking about some of the ideas, some of this work, okay? This work that you've done today, these do's and these don'ts about creating ideas. What did you read today? Again, no computers today, only books and articles. No computers today. No computers, no computers, no computers, just articles and books today. Just making things easier. Where was I? So at the end, one person will start talking about some ideas that they generated today, and then people will butt in and talk. And this is where, here, have this up. So at the end, I'll make this nice and small. Or no, I'll just share this with you, Vicente, in classroom. So at the end of class, the last 5 minutes before brain break, push yourselves. The important thing about this, I'm realizing this is giving me the idea that this connects to the thought I have about this is what surprises me about this is this makes me think. Have a discussion with your team. Play off of each other. Connect things because you're studying the same topic. So you're going to get some ideas. And if you listen and pay attention to what someone's saying, you're going to be like, oh, in my book, or a thought I had about this too, and have a conversation. Okay, bye. See you later. Ciao.